Did you know that mastering control flow is the difference between a junior developer and a Java pro? One misplaced semicolon in a for loop or a missing break in a switch statement can break your entire application. In this video, we will cover Java control flow mastery, 30 essential practice questions and detailed explanations. Master Java control flow with this comprehensive practice exam. This video covers if-else statements, switch blocks, for loops, while loops, and do-while loops with 30 challenging MCQs. In this video, we are diving deep into 30 high-quality practice questions covering Java control flow, including selection statements, loops, and branching. This is designed to mirror actual certification exam scenarios. Before we jump in, make sure to grab a pen and paper to track your score. Let's see if you can get a perfect 30 out of 30. What is the result of the following code snippet? Int x equals 10. If x equals 20, system.out, println, true, else system.out, println, false. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, compilation error. Option D, runtime exception. The correct answer is C. In Java, the condition inside an if statement must evaluate to a Boolean value. In this code, x equals 20 is an assignment expression, not a comparison. The expression returns the value 20, which is an integer. Unlike C++, Java does not allow integers to be implicitly converted to Boolean values. To fix this, the equality operator == should be used. Therefore, the code fails to compile because it expects a Boolean but finds an int. Which of the following is true about the do-while loop? Option A. It checks the condition before the first execution of the block. Option B. The loop body is guaranteed to execute at least once. Option C. It cannot be nested inside a for loop. Option D. It requires the loop variable to be declared outside the loop. The correct answer is B. The do-while loop is a post-test loop. This means the block of code inside the loop is executed first, and only after the execution is the Boolean condition checked. Because of this sequence, the code inside the do block will always run at least once, even if the condition is false from the start. This distinguishes it from the while loop and the for loop, which are pre-test loops and may never execute if the condition is initially false. Which of these types is not supported as a switch expression in Java, pre-Java 17? Option A, string. Option B, byte. Option C, double. Option D, enum. The correct answer is C. The switch statement in Java supports a limited set of data types: byte, short, char, int, and their respective wrapper classes: byte, short, character, integer, along with enums and strings. Since Java 7, floating point types like double and float, as well as the long type and Boolean, are not allowed as switch expressions. This is because switch statements are optimized for discrete, exact values, and floating point arithmetic can involve precision issues that make exact matching unreliable. What happens if a switch case does not have a break statement? Option A. The program throws a runtime exception. Option B. The code will not compile. Option C. Execution falls through to the next case. Option D. The switch statement terminates immediately. The correct answer is C. Java's switch statement exhibits fall-through behavior. If a matching case is found, execution begins there and continues through subsequent cases until either a break statement is encountered, a return is reached, or the end of the switch block is reached. This behavior allows developers to execute the same logic for multiple case values. But it is a common source of bugs if the break is omitted unintentionally. Consider for int I equals o, I less than 3, I plus plus. For int j equals 3, j greater than o, j. If I equals j, continue system.out, print j, closing curly bracket, closing curly bracket. What is the output? Option A, 321,321,321. Option B, 3,213,132. Option C, 3,213,231. Option D, 321312. The correct answer is B. Let's trace. When I equals 0, j is 3, 2, 1. I never equals j. Output 321. When I equals 1, j is 3, 2, 1. I equals j when j equals 1. So continue, skips printing 1. Output 32. When I equals 2, j is 3, 2, 1. I equals j when j equals 2. So continue, skips printing 2. Output 31. Concatenating these results. 321 plus 32 plus 31 equals 3,213,231. Wait, let's recalculate. I equals 0 to 321. I equals 1 to j equals 3. Print j equals 2. Print j equals 1. Skip. I equals 2 to j equals 3. Print j equals 2. Skip. j equals 1. Print correct string. 3,213,231. How many times will the following loop execute? Int x equals 1, while x less than 1, x plus plus. Option A, 0. Option B, 1. Option C, infinite. Option D, compilation error. The correct answer is A. The while loop is a pretest loop. It evaluates the condition x less than 1 before executing the loop body. Since x is initialized to 1, the condition 1 less than 1 is false immediately. As a result, the loop body is never entered, and the number of executions is 0. What is the purpose of a labeled break statement in Java? Option A, to jump to a specific line number. Option B, to exit a specific nested loop level. Option C, to restart the current loop from the beginning. Option D, to skip the current iteration of all loops. The correct answer is B. A standard break statement only exits the innermost loop it is placed in. A labeled break allows a developer to specify which loop out of nested loops should be terminated. You define a label before a loop, e.g., outer loop, for single quote, and use break outer loop to exit that specific loop entirely, regardless of how many levels deep the break statement is located. Which operator is known as the ternary operator in Java? Option A, and. Option B, option C, : option D, instance of. The correct answer is C. The ternary operator is a shorthand for an if-else statement that returns a value. It takes 3 operands: a Boolean condition, a value to return if the condition is true, and a value to return if the condition is false. For example, int max equals a greater than b. B assigns the greater of the 2 values to max. What is the result of for int I equals o, I less than 10, I plus plus, opening curly bracket, if I%2 equals o, continue, if I equals 5, break, system.out, print, I, closing curly bracket. Option A, 13. Option B, 135. Option C, 024. Option D, 12,345. The correct answer is A. Iteration 0, I equals o. 0% 2 equals 0 is true. Continue, skips to I equals 1. Iteration 1, I equals 1. 1% 2 equals 0 is false. I equals 5 is false. Prints 1. Iteration 2, I equals 2. 2% 2 equals 0 is true. Continue, skips to I equals 3. Iteration 3, I equals 3. 3% 2 equals 0 is false. I equals 5 is false. Prints 3. Iteration 4, I equals 4. 4% 2 equals 0 is true. Continue, skips to I equals 5. Iteration 5, I equals 5. 5% 2 equals 0 is false. I equals 5 is true. Break terminates the loop. Final output 13. Which loop is most appropriate when the number of iterations is known in advance? Option A, while loop. Option B, do while loop. Option C, for loop. Option D, for each loop. The correct answer is C. While any loop can technically perform the task, the for loop is specifically designed for scenarios where the range of iterations is known. Its syntax combines initialization, condition checking, and the update expression, increment, decrement, into a single line, making the code more readable and concise for counter-based iterations. Can a switch statement evaluate a Boolean expression? Option A, yes, if the cases are true and false. Option B, no, switch statements do not support Boolean types. Option C, only if the Boolean is wrapped in a Boolean object. Option D, only in Java 17 and above. The correct answer is B. Standard Java switch statements do not support the Boolean primitive type or the Boolean wrapper class. For Boolean logic, if-else statements are the appropriate control flow tool. Switch is designed for multi-way branching based on integral, string, or enum constants. What happens if you modify the collection during an enhanced for loop, for each? Option A, the changes are reflected in the next iteration. Option B, it results in a concurrent modification exception at runtime. Option C, the loop finishes using the original copy of the collection. Option D, it is a compilation error. The correct answer is B. The enhanced for loop, for each, uses an iterator internally. If you attempt to modify the underlying collection, adding or removing elements, while iterating over it using a for each loop, the iterator's fail-fast mechanism will detect the structural change and throw a concurrent modification exception. To modify a collection while iterating, you must use an explicit iterator in its remove method. What is the output of int a equals 5, b equals 10. If a greater than 0, b plus plus greater than 10. System.out, print, b. Option A, 10. Option B, 11. Option C, 5. Option D, compilation error. The correct answer is A. This question tests the short-circuit behavior of logical operators. The OR operator evaluates the left operand first since a greater than 0 is true, 5 greater than 0. The overall condition is guaranteed to be true. Java does not evaluate the right operand, b++ greater than 10, to save processing time. Therefore, b is never incremented, and its value remains 10. Where can the continue statement be used? Option A, inside any loop or switch statement. Option B, only inside loops. 4. While, do while. Option C, inside if-else blocks. Option D, in any method body. The correct answer is B. The continue statement is exclusively used for loop control. It skips the remaining code in the current iteration and jumps to the next evaluation of the loops condition. Unlike break, continue cannot be used inside a switch statement unless that switch is itself inside a loop. Which of these is a valid infinite loop in Java? Option A, 4. Opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. Option B, while. 1. Opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. Option C, do while. False. Option D, 4. Int I equals O, I less than 10. I. Closing curly bracket. The correct answer is A. Option A, 4, is the standard syntax for an infinite loop in Java. The components of the for loop are optional, and an empty condition defaults to true. Option B is incorrect because 1 is an integer, and Java requires a Boolean. Option C runs only once. Option D will eventually cause an integer underflow. But 4 is the idiomatic infinite loop. In a nested if-else structure, an else clause always associates with Option A, the first if statement in the block. Option B, the nearest preceding if that is not already paired with an else. Option C, the most indented if statement. Option D, the if statement designated by braces. The correct answer is B. This is known as the dangling else problem. Java resolves this by pairing the else with the closest, most recent if statement in the same block that doesn't have an associated else. Braces should be used to override this default behavior and clarify which if the else belongs to. What is the output of the following loop? 4. Int I equals O, I less than 1, I plus plus. System.out, println. Loop. System.out, println. After. Option A, loop, on one line. Option B, loop, new line. After. Option C, loop after, on one line. Option D, after. The correct answer is B. When a loop, or if statement, does not use curly braces, only the single statement immediately following it is considered the body of the loop. Here, only system.out, println. Loop is inside the for loop. The second print statement is outside the loop and executes once after the loop finishes. Indentation is ignored by the compiler. What is required for a variable to be used in a switch case label? Option A. It must be a final variable and initialized with a constant expression. Option B. It can be any variable initialized at runtime. Option C. It must be a static variable. Option D. Case labels cannot be variables, only literal values. The correct answer is A. Case labels in a switch statement must be constant expressions. This means they must be literals, like 1, A, or hello, or final variables that are initialized with a constant value at the time of declaration. Normal variables, even if they don't change, cannot be used as case labels because the compiler needs to evaluate the case values at compile time. Which statement correctly describes the enhanced for loop? Option A. It can iterate backwards through an array. Option B. It provides access to the current index of the element. Option C. It can only be used with arrays and classes implementing iterable. Option D. It allows modifying the array elements directly. The correct answer is C. The enhanced for loop, for each, is designed for simplicity. It works on any array and any class that implements the Java lang iterable interface. Like list, set, however, it hides the index, only moves forward, and does not allow you to replace the element in the array or collection during iteration. What is the output of int x equals 5, system.out, println, x greater than 2, x less than 4, 10 to 8, 7. Option A, 10. Option B, 8. Option C, 7. Option D, 5. The correct answer is B. This is a nested ternary operator. First, evaluate the outer condition. X greater than 2 is 5 greater than 2, which is true. This leads to the true branch of the first ternary, which is another ternary. X less than 4, 10, 8. Since 5 less than 4 is false, the result of the inner ternary is 8. The final output is 8. What is the result of this code? Int I equals 0, 4, I less than 2, I equals I plus 5, opening curly bracket, I plus plus, closing curly bracket, system.out, print, I. Option A, 1. Option B, 2. Option C, 6. Option D, 0. The correct answer is C. Let's trace. I is initialized to 0. Condition 0 less than 2 is true. Inside the loop, I plus plus makes I equals 1. Then the update expression I equals I plus 5 runs, making I equals 6. Now check the condition. 6 less than 2, which is false. The loop terminates. The final value of I is 6. What is the default case in a switch statement used for? Option A. It is executed first before any other cases. Option B. It is executed only if no other case matches. Option C. It is mandatory for all switch statements. Option D. It acts as a catch block for exceptions. The correct answer is B. The default label in a switch statement is optional. It provides a block of code to execute if none of the case labels match the switch expression. While it usually appears at the end, it can technically be placed anywhere in the switch block, but it will still only execute if no match is found, unless a fall-through occurs from a preceding case. What happens if the condition in a for loop is omitted? Option A. The loop will not compile. Option B. The loop will execute 0 times. Option C. The loop will run infinitely. Option D. The compiler throws a warning. The correct answer is C. In a for loop syntax, for initialization, condition, update, all 3 parts are optional. If the condition part is left blank, the compiler treats it as true. Therefore, for results in an infinite loop unless broken internally by a break or return statement. Which of the following code snippets will compile? Option A. If true, int x equals 5. Option B. If true, int x equals 5, closing curly bracket. Option C. If 1, opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. Option D. If true, else. The correct answer is B. Option A fails because you cannot have a variable declaration as the only statement in an if block without braces. Option C fails because integers aren't booleans. Option D fails because you can't have multiple else clauses for a single if. Option B is perfectly valid. How many times does hello print? 4. Int I equals O, I less than 10. I plus plus. Opening curly bracket. I plus equals 2. System.out. println. Hello. Closing curly bracket. Option A, 10. Option B, 3. Option C, 4. Option D, 5. The correct answer is C. Trace. 1. I equals O. 0 less than 10. T. I becomes 2. Prints, hello. I plus plus. Update. Makes I equals 3. 2. I equals 3. 3 less than 10. T. I becomes 5. Prints, hello. I plus plus makes I equals 6. 3. I equals 6. 6 less than 10. T. I becomes 8. Prints, hello. I plus plus makes I equals 9. 4. I equals 9. 9 less than 10. T. I becomes 11. Prints, hello. I plus plus makes I equals 12. 5. I equals 12. 12 less than 10. F. Total prints. 4. Which of these is not a branching statement in Java? Option A, break. Option B, continue. Option C, return. Option D, exit. The correct answer is D. Break, continue, and return are formal branching statements defined in the Java language specification. Exit is not a keyword, while system exit is a method that terminates the program. It is not a control flow branching statement like the others. What is the result of int I equals 1, do? System.out. Print I plus while I greater than O. Option A, 1, 0. Option B, 1. Option C, 0. Option D, infinite loop. The correct answer is B. The loop executes once. I is a post-decrement, so it prints the current value of I, 1, and then decrements I to 0. Then the condition, I greater than 0, which is 0 greater than 0, is evaluated. Since it is false, the loop terminates. Output is 1 foot. In Java, what is the output of if false else system.out? Println A. Option A, option B, no output. Option C, compilation error. Option D, runtime error. The correct answer is A. The semicolon after if false acts as an empty statement. So, if the condition is false, which it is, the else block executes. The else block contains the print statement, so it prints A. Which of the following can be used to iterate over a map in an enhanced for loop? Option A, the map object directly. Option B, map keyset. Option C, map values. Option D, both B and C. The correct answer is D. A map does not implement the iterable interface directly, so you cannot use backquote for object O, map, backquote. However, backquote map, keyset, backquote map, values, backquote, and backquote map, entry set, backquote all return collection views which do implement iterable, allowing them to be used in enhanced for loops. What is the output of string s equals A? Switch s, opening curly bracket, case A, system.out, print A, case A, system.out, print A, default, system.out, print def, closing curly bracket. Option A, option B, def. Option C, def. Option D, def. The correct answer is B. String comparisons in switch cases are case sensitive. The variable s is A, so it skips case A and matches case A. It prints A. Because there is no break statement, it falls through to the default case and prints def. Final output is a def. That wraps up our 30 practice questions on Java control flow. How many did you get right? Let us know your score in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Java certification prep content. For the full Java certification prep suite, check out the comprehensive course link in the description below.